Greetings. This presentation is entitled Construction and Demolition Waste Management in Mauritius for Circularity in Construction Materials Towards Resilient Cities. The authors are Ms. Zakiyyah Jugon and myself, Dr. Reshma Rughooputh. An overview of the construction industry in Mauritius includes numerous major projects around the island, which comprise shopping malls, road improvement, the metro line, highway interchanges, some key bridges. The construction demolition waste statistics from the Mauritius Statistics 2023 is now displayed. So in 2023, we have 5,443 tons of construction and demolition waste in the island as compared to 2,363 tons in 2014. In Mauritius, the main landfill is the Mauritius landfill site, and this is to show that we also have some illegal dumping sites on the island. So we have one dumping site every 7 kilometers square. Now, coming to the problem identification, linear management of construction and demolition waste includes, first, from the raw materials, we have got the buildings. Then after the buildings, then we have the waste that are generated after the design life, or for instance, when we have other activities around, refurbishing and so on. Then these wastes go to the landfill dumping sites. Now, there are different barriers to CDW management in Mauritius, that is, the management of construction and demolition waste. Waste management framework for construction and demolition waste in Mauritius is not present. Enhancing a circular economy for construction and demolition waste management is required and requires stakeholders' engagement and a key strategy approach. That will involve, as you can see, a loop from the waste management, that is recycling, reusing, to circular design, to green procurement, and to then construction and demolition waste activities, again going through the waste management. Now, coming to the aims and objectives of the study, the aim of the study was to devise a sustainable framework in view of enhancing circular management of CDW in Mauritius through a stakeholder engagement and key strategy approach. The objective included to identify the key CDW management strategies that can be implemented in Mauritius. Second, to link the stakeholders with the identified strategies. Third, to analyze the relationship between stakeholder engagement and implementation of circular economy practices. And fourth, to depict the interconnection between stakeholders engagement and the implementation of the CDW management strategies through a causal loop diagram. The research project comprises the following aspects: problem identification, aim and objectives, reviewing the literature, choosing the research design, selecting participants and collecting data, analyzing the data, and the concluding remarks. When looking at an international level, the EU has one of the most successful stories of managing CDW with the implementation of a robust system. Unfortunately, Mauritius does not have the required policies, regulations, and stakeholders' commitment to set up such a management framework, and very few studies have been conducted on this subject matter. So, towards the literature, we also have the Waste Framework Directive, which includes the waste hierarchy, that is right from the bottom of the prism, which is the disposal, going to the top, recovery, recycling, preparing for reuse, and prevention. 70% of the CDW recovery by 2020 were proposed by the EU. In our local context, we have also gathered some literature and some work being done by some local organizations which have also addressed the sorting and categorization of CDW. And we have got different waste types as can be displayed on the screen. And we have got also the number of recyclers available. And we have got, for example, in the case of CDW, we have got only one local recycler available. Therefore, there is a need to provide additional recycling facilities dispersed across the island to maximize the coverage of these facilities. In this study, a mixed methodology approach was adopted, whereby both qualitative and quantitative data were collected. The data collection process allowed the identification of key stakeholders involved in the management process and the preliminary management strategies that could be considered in the study. The stakeholders included the government, client, designer, contractor, and recycler. The preliminary CDW management strategies included policies and regulations that address to the establishment of a clear CDW management policy, apply landfill bans, taxes, subsidies, and sanctions, enforce laws, and prevent illegal dumping. Second, addressing circular design. Third, green procurement. Fourth, site waste management. Fifth, proper demolition techniques. Six, setting up of recycling facilities and standards for secondary materials. And lastly, encouraging use of secondary materials. Qualitative data was then collected from experts belonging to each stakeholder and having working experience ranging from 8 to 32 years. During the interviews, the following topics were covered: the current CDW management practices in Mauritius, the barriers to CDW management, and finalize CDW management strategies that could be implemented. And these were also addressed through questionnaire survey. There were closed-ended questions, MCQ, and there were pilot testing that were conducted prior to administrating the questionnaires. 112 respondents were available for the interview and participated in the interview, and the analysis of data followed the thematic analysis, which included 9 themes. First theme, current management of CDW in Mauritius. Second, barriers to CDW management. Third, policy and regulatory framework. Fourth, infrastructure and facilities. Fifth, information platform to bridge communication gap. Sixth, circular design and suitable practices, as well as sustainable practices. Theme 7, green procurement and clauses in tenders. Theme 8, on-site waste management. And Theme 9, secondary material awareness and standards. The potential solutions to mitigating these barriers are covered through Themes 3 and 9, and Theme 2 and 1 as displayed include the barriers to CDW and current management of CDW in Mauritius. So we have now a full flowchart of all these themes. The finalized CDW management strategies include establishing policies and regulations, setting up of adequate infrastructure, establishing incentives, enforcing of laws, green procurement, circular design, proper demolition techniques, clauses related to waste management to be added in a tender, raising awareness and encouraging the use of secondary materials, establishing standards for secondary materials, implementation of site waste management, and establishing of an information platform and using social media, digital marketing to inform about CDW recycling procedures. With strong governance, we can significantly reduce our waste generation and protect our environment. Commitment and collaboration of all the stakeholders working towards a common goal is required. Achieving a circular economy in CDW management is possible in Mauritius with a strong governance and the implementation of CDW management strategies to support the full circular flow as displayed on screen. We also require strong stakeholders' commitment and engagement. We thank you for your kind attention and welcome any question from the audience.